Welcome to class, everybody. This is the Replace Audio project. Probably one of my favorite projects for this semester. You're going to be taking a clip, removing all of the audio from it, and putting in all of your own original audio. You're going to be using both Audition and Premiere for this project, so you can see how they work really synergistically. And yeah, you just get to be creative and have fun. So this should be a really good one for you. Let's kind of go a breakdown of what you'll be doing, and then I'll walk you through them step by step. First, you're going to download a video from YouTube of your choice. You're going to bring that video into Adobe Premiere next, and then we're going to edit that video down to 1 minute in length, and I'll show you how to do that within Premiere. After you do that, you'll unlink the audio from the video and delete the original audio track, so we just have that video file left. Once we have that video file, we'll export it as an MP4 from Premiere, and then we'll be ready to throw that into Audition and start putting in all of our own original audio into that project. Once you've got all the original audio you like into your Audition clip, then we're going to move the audio back into Premiere and be able to sync that audio back up with the video in Premiere and export them together as an MP4. And that's what you'll be submitting to Canvas. So it sounds like a lot, but we'll go through it a step at a time. And again, it's a pretty fun assignment you can work on. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to find a video from YouTube to download. So I'm going to go here to YouTube, find whichever video you like. I'm going to do the Star Wars trailer. And this is probably the best YouTube converter or downloader that I found. By the best, it's the least sketchy. If you just go up to the URL and you click in front of the Y of YouTube and put 2 S's and then hit enter, it's going to take you to the online video downloader. So for this, you'll get some options here. We want to download it. You can download it at 720 with the sound. I could actually download it at 1080, which is HD. Without the sound, we're looking for an MP4 here, that would save you a step in the project, if you wouldn't have to worry about the audio. But to help you see everything, I'm going to stick with the 720. It won't be as great as nice of quality, but it will work for this assignment. So I'm going to click that, download. You can see it's downloading right here. It hit me with the redirect, so I'm just going to close out of that. And once that is downloaded, I can open that in Adobe Premiere. So let's look at Adobe Premiere real quick. Adobe Premiere. This is what Adobe Premiere looks like. If you're not familiar with it, you can just go ahead and we're going to hit new project to get started. I'm going to title this project the Replace Audio 1 minute clip project. The location is where it's going to be saved to. So I'm going to hit browse real quick and just make sure I've got a folder set up. I could go to my download or desktop. Let's go to my desktop. I'm going to create a new folder. This is going to be Replace Audio Project. I'm going to create that, and within there I'm going to do 1 minute video clip, and that's where I'm going to save this to. And hit choose, and let's hit OK and keep going. So this is Premiere in all of its glory. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Premiere, the video editing software, I love it. It's a lot to learn, but we're just going to show you the very basics. To get started, you've got your import media folder over here. So we're just going to double click on that. It's going to allow us to import media that we want to start working on. So I'm going to go to my downloads. I'm going to find that Star Wars trailer. I'm going to hit import. And just like that, I've got a video file to work with, but I'm still not seeing it on my timeline or any previews. So to start a project, our sequence, you're going to click on your video and you're going to drag it over and drop it on your sequence. And it's going to start a project for you. Now you'll see we've got this nice bar here with our video and our audio. If we were to move this line, you'd see we're picking up the video now. And it looks great. So we've got that, it's looking good. We need to trim this down to a minute. So I'm going to show you some quick trimming techniques, very similar to Audition. The fastest way to trim is if you just go to the edge of your clip, you get your red arrow, and you can click and drag that in until it gets down to about 1 minute in length. You can see up here, you've got the timestamp, so we're at about 59 seconds, which is right about where I want to be. You can also see the time stamp on the actual video preview above it. So we're at about 1 minute. So that is the fastest way to trim a video down. Pretty easy, pretty quick, but you're kind of at the mercy of where it ends at 1 minute to where it's going to cut off. So if you want to be more judicious and cognitive of where your video starts and ends, you can cut this up manually. Again, just like an Audition, Audition has a razor tool. Right here on your toolbar here on the left-hand side is the razor tool. The shortcut to get to it is C, so you could just hit C on your keyboard. And with your razor tool, you can actually find a place maybe where, let's say, oh, here comes Kylo Ren. I don't like Kylo Ren, so I'm just gonna cut him out. So I'm gonna clip it right there. I'm going to go to the end where Kylo is gone, and I'm gonna clip it right there. And if I go back to my move tool or my selection tool, shortcut is V on the keyboard, I now have this clip that I can just select and then hit delete to backspace or to get rid of it, or you could just, I'm gonna hit Control Z to go back. You can just move it to the end if you want to keep it for some reason, and then you could take this clip and just push it together, and now you see we've got Rey but no Kylo Ren. Kylo is gone. So you could cut it up. That's going to take you a little bit longer to be able to trim it down to 1 minute, but that will give you a lot more say of what stays in the video for you. For time's sake, I'm just going to trim this down to a minute now, like that. And now that we've got down to a minute, if we go back to our project, we now need to unlock the audio in the video and delete the original audio track. So to unlink, you're going to select the video tracks right now. I can highlight to get both selected. I'm going to right click, and there is an option that is unlink. So we are going to use that unlink option. And you'll notice now that my video files and my audio files have become separated. By default, Audition brings them in linked. That way your audio doesn't get off of your video, which is really nice, but in this case we want them unlinked, and once they're unlinked you can just hit delete and they're gone. And just like that, we have a 1 minute video that we are ready to export and throw into Audition and start putting in all of our own sound effects. So let's go ahead and export this. So to export it, we are going to go up to File, we're going to go to Export and Media. File, Export, Media. I select that. There's going to be a few options you need to be aware of. The format, we're always going to choose H.264 as our format, and the preset, this is where you can export it to fit a specific platform. We're going to go with YouTube because YouTube tends to work for pretty much any platform, Facebook, Twitter, mobile, desktop. So we're going to go to YouTube 1080. You could do 4K, except it takes a lot of memory, and not all screens are 4K yet. 3 or 4 years from now, you're probably going to be wanting to export everything in 4K. But for now, we're just going to do 1080 to save on memory. So that's your format and preset. And the last thing is your output name. So the output name, if you select that, again, this is where it's going to be saving it to. So I am going to make sure it's saving in the right place. Right now it just wants to save it into downloads. I'm going to go to desktop. I'm going to find that folder I created earlier, 1 minute video clip, and I'm going to rename this as Star Wars 1 minute clip. And that way I know exactly where it's being saved to. If you don't do this, you're at the will of Adobe, and Adobe will save it in the most random place on your computer. So let's go ahead and hit save. And once you've done that, all you need to do is hit export. And exporting, this is a lot of data it's crunching. Even though it's only a minute, it will take a little bit to export. No instant gratification here. But looks like we're getting pretty close to having it be finished. And just like that, it is exported. If I were to go in my Finder and I were to pull up my desktop, find the Replace Audio project, 1 minute video, there is my video clip. So now that we have that found, we're going to put that into Audition and start really getting into the fun part of this project. We're adding in all of our own sound effects. So let's get in Audition. You guys should be familiar with Audition. Let's go ahead and import some files. So I'm going to open this up, go to my desktop. I'm going to get the Replace Audio project, 1 minute clip, Star Wars. Let's open that. And then let's also download a few files from the sound effects folder. Let's get a whistle. That sounds great. Let's get barnyard, alligator growl, bear roar. Sure, that works fine. You'll obviously want to take more time on this, but just to show you how to do this, I'll be a little bit quicker. So let's go ahead and import these as well. I'm just going to find them in my downloads. They should be my most recent. I'm going to select them. I'm just going to drag them right in here into Audition. And once I have those in, I can open up a multi-track, call this Replace Audio. Again, I'm going to make sure it's saving in the right place. I got my Replace Audio project. I'm going to choose a new folder that says Audition Files. Hit Create. And that's where I'm going to be saving these. Alright, hit OK. So now let's go ahead and put in our Star Wars clip. And I got my video preview down here. It will say on track 1 that it does have an audio file. The audio file is empty, so I can just delete that, or you can leave it in. And then you're going to now just put in all of your own audio. So for this, it usually works good to have some music in the background, and then add in different sound effects to match up what's happening in the clip. Let's go ahead and zoom this out a little bit, zoom this up. Put in a bear roar, so I've got like my barnyard in the background. I've got my bear roar. And you would add in all these sound effects to your clip. Add in a whistle. This should be pretty intense by the end. Not intense, but you should have quite a few clips in here as you're adding in all of your own original audio. You want to make this really sound good, sound professional. You have all the skills to do it, even though we've only been on Audition for a week or two now. And so you're going to add all of that in. And once you have all the sounds in, how you like it, it looks good, better yet, it sounds good, you would be ready to finish this up if we go to the assignment. So we've included the music, as well as the sound effects. And again, all the sound effects for this, you can use the sound effects provided here. You can create your own just with your phone recording them. You can download them from the internet. Like the sky's the limit as where you're getting the sounds. But once you've done that, you're ready to export the audio back into Premiere. Because as you remember with Audition, we can export this, but it only exports audio files. So that video would not be synced up with it. So instead of exporting the audio file and then opening that in Premiere and then hooking the audio file up with your video file, it's a long process. Adobe makes it easy for us. Once you have all these in place, you're going to just go up to File, you're going to go to Export, but instead of our normal multi-track mixdown and entire session, oh, what's this? Export to Adobe Premiere Pro? Yes, that's exactly what I want to do. Adobe, like I said, they make it easy for us. So we're going to export this to Adobe Premiere. Go ahead and hit OK. And this is great. Just leave everything as it is and then hit export. It's going to take a second. Look, I'm going to hit OK for copying to active sequence. I had my video clip already pulled up in Premiere. I didn't close it. And since that's already pulled up, it's going to, when I hit OK, put in all the audio files right underneath the video. So if we were to look, you can see all the audio files I had worked on in Audition are now placed underneath my video file. If I were to hit play, it'd play the video with the audio underneath, which would sound great. And from here, to finish it up, we have it in Audition. We have it back in Premiere. All we need to do is export the video through Premiere. So I just go to Premiere, and just like we did a second ago, where you go up to File, we're going to go to Export Media, and we are going to make sure our format is H.264. Our preset is YouTube 1080, and then the output name, again, I'm going to click on this, make sure it's saving in the right place. So if I go to Desktop, replace audio, 1 minute video clip, I'm just going to create a new folder here that says finished video. Hit create. I'm going to change the name to finished, replace audio, video, Trent Howard, hit save, and then export. And again, it'll take a minute or two. It's going to be exporting the audio files and then the video files. If we go into our desktop and look at that file, you can see we've got the MP4, so it's got the video file there, and it looks like it just finished, just like that. And once you got to that is the assignment. All you're going to do is take this video and you're going to import it into Canvas or upload it into Canvas for the project. That's all I need. I don't need a screenshot. I don't need the native file from Audition or Premiere. I just need the finished MP4. So again, if we go back to our assignment, get that exported, submit it to Canvas. You've got examples to look at to get an idea if you're a little bit confused of what we're looking for, as well as this list of sound effects to use. So let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me a message on Canvas, and I will get back to you. But thanks for listening, and good luck with the assignment. It's a fun one.